the dynamics of power between men and women. In other words, this is a complicated subject.
America has been great since 1776. Barbra Streisand just went nuclear on Trump's famous slogan during a live broadcast, and even the cameraman couldn't hide his shock. Watch as the legendary diva transforms from calm celebrity to political flamethrower in seconds, comparing Trump to a walking Wi-Fi dead zone and making statements that had the audience gasping. Trump's response? Well, that's where things get even juicier. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video.
I completely agree with Meryl. It was a heartbreaking moment and so beneath the dignity of the presidency, let alone any respectful person.
Did you know Barbra Streisand just completely demolished Trump's favorite catchphrase with a single sentence? Let's watch what happened. So there's Barbra Streisand sitting in that interview talking politics. You know, as celebs do these days. She's keeping it pretty chill at first, just having a normal conversation, but then someone mentions Trump's famous slogan, and it's like somebody flipped a switch. Our girl Barbra went from zero to full diva in about half a second. You could literally see the transformation happen on camera. She's nodding along to the interviewer's questions one moment, and the next, bam, her hands start flying, her eyes get wide, and she drops this bomb. America has been great since 1776. Simple as that. 4 words that basically tell Trump his whole campaign premise is garbage. The audience reaction was priceless. You could hear this collective gasp when she first started going off. Nobody was expecting Grammy-winning, Oscar-holding Barbra Streisand to suddenly transform into political commentator Barbra. But honestly, we should have seen it coming. This is the woman who puts her whole soul into "Don't Rain on My Parade." Did we really think she wouldn't bring that same energy to raining on Trump's?
I hope for the best because this is heartbreaking. What's happening now with these people, the children, the mothers. It doesn't matter what religion they are. Do you know what I mean? This is beyond religion.
What makes this even better is seeing clips of Trump at his rallies screaming "Make America Great Again" into the microphone like a broken record. The contrast is just too perfect. Trump yelling about making America great again, like it somehow stopped being great, and then Barbra calmly but firmly pointing out that, hello, America has been great the entire time. It's like watching someone deflate a balloon with a perfectly placed pin. Her delivery was what really sold it. If you've ever seen Barbra perform on stage, you know she's got this way of starting soft and then building to this incredible emotional crescendo. She did the exact same thing here, except instead of belting out high notes, she was taking down Trump's whole political brand. Same passion, different stage, the hand gestures got bigger, the facial expressions more intense. Classic Streisand performance mode, just applied to political commentary instead of memories. The interviewer's face during all this was absolutely priceless. You could see them trying to maintain that professional journalist composure, but their eyes kept getting wider and wider as Barbra kept going. They clearly knew they were witnessing something special, a legendary performer using her performance skills to deliver a political takedown. What Barbra did here was brilliant because she exposed the fundamental contradiction in Trump's slogan. If America has indeed been great since its founding in 1776, then what exactly is Trump promising to bring back? What mysterious again period is he referring to? By simply stating that America has been great all along, she undermined his entire premise and exposed it for what many critics say it really is, a dog whistle for returning to a time when certain Americans had fewer rights and protections. And the way she delivered this critique wasn't just some boring political analysis. This was Barbra Streisand in full star mode, bringing the same intensity to criticizing Trump that she brings to her most powerful musical performances. The passion was palpable. The conviction was clear. This wasn't just a celebrity sharing a casual opinion. This was Barbra sharing something she deeply believes, with all the dramatic flair that has made her an icon. That theatrical takedown of Trump's slogan suddenly took a sharp personal turn when Barbra touched on something that clearly hits a nerve for her. The legendary singer wasn't just playing politics anymore. This was personal. You could see her entire demeanor shift as she moved from criticizing a campaign slogan to revealing something much deeper. "I think we share something, which is we both hate liars," Streisand said, making direct eye contact with the interviewer but leaving absolutely no doubt who she was really talking about. The audience immediately got it, and you could hear that collective "oh" ripple through the crowd. This wasn't just another celebrity taking a potshot at Trump. Something in Barbra's voice changed, became more intense, more authentic. That's when she dropped the real bombshell about why dishonesty triggers her so deeply. "I was lied to as a child. That's why I'm so passionate about lies and people who lie." Whoa, talk about context. Suddenly this wasn't just political theater. This was Barbra Streisand connecting Trump's constant fibbing to her own childhood wounds. The musical icon who's performed for presidents and royalty was essentially calling Trump a pathological liar, while simultaneously giving us a glimpse into her own emotional makeup. Her body language told the whole story. When she was talking about Trump's slogan, she was passionate but controlled. Classic performer Barbra. But when the topic switched to lying, her hands started moving more rapidly, her eyes narrowed, and her legendary voice took on that specific edge her fans recognize from her most emotionally charged performances. This wasn't rehearsed. This was raw Barbra. What makes this particular criticism so devastating is how she connects Trump's dishonesty to real-world consequences. Streisand didn't just call him a liar and move on. She specifically highlighted how his administration wiped off all of the information about climate truth. She's connecting the dots between his personal character flaw and actual policy decisions that affect the entire planet. The audience reaction was fascinating to watch. When Barbra was criticizing Trump's slogan, they were nodding along, but when she started in on his lying, they were howling. It's like she perfectly articulated something they'd been feeling but couldn't quite put into words themselves. Of course, Barbra isn't the only celebrity who's gone after Trump. Wanda Sykes has mocked his financial failures, and Rosie O'Donnell has called him a cruel criminal and mentally unstable man. But there's something different about how Streisand approaches it. There's that unique combination of Hollywood royalty status mixed with genuine personal outrage that makes her criticism land differently. When you watch the clip, you can actually track the audience's engagement by their reactions. Polite laughter at the political stuff, but actual gasps and spontaneous applause when she tied Trump's lying to her childhood experiences. It's like they were thinking, oh, this is why she cares so much. What's particularly brutal about Streisand's assessment is how she frames lying as Trump's fundamental character flaw, the root problem from which all his other issues spring. It's not just that he lies, according to Barbra, but that dishonesty is his default setting. By connecting it to climate change denial, she's suggesting his lying isn't just annoying or unpresidential, it's actively dangerous. The moment was so powerful because it wasn't just Barbra reading off Democratic talking points. It was a genuine glimpse into why Trump personally offends her core values. When someone with Streisand's credentials and career longevity speaks that passionately about something, people tend to pay attention. After dismantling Trump's honesty, Babs wasn't done with her performance. She had something even more creative ready to go. And honestly, we've all experienced that frustrating moment when our internet cuts out during the most important Zoom call, or right when we're about to finish watching that last episode of whatever show we're binging. According to Streisand, that technological nightmare is exactly what's happening inside Trump's brain 24/7. As Streisand pivoted from talking about Trump's lying problem, you could literally see her performer instincts kick in. The legendary singer sat up straighter, her hands suddenly becoming more expressive as she prepared to deliver what would become the night's most memorable line. The interviewer, clearly sensing something good was coming, leaned forward slightly. "You know what I call him?" Streisand asked with perfect comedic timing, pausing just long enough to build suspense, but not so long that it felt staged. "A walking Wi-Fi dead zone." The interviewer nearly lost it. You could see them desperately trying to maintain professional composure, but their eyes were practically watering from holding back laughter. It wasn't just what Barbra said, it was how she said it, with the perfect combination of disgust and comedic flair that only someone with decades of stage experience could deliver. What makes the Wi-Fi dead zone insult so brilliant is how perfectly it captures the experience of listening to a Trump speech. We've all suffered through those rambling, incoherent talks where one sentence abandons all logic as it crashes into the next. Just like when your internet keeps cutting out during an important download, Trump's speeches leave you frustrated, confused, and wondering if there's any point in waiting for it to make sense. Streisand's delivery became increasingly theatrical as she expanded on her tech metaphor. Her hands mimicked a connection dropping, her voice modulating between clarity and static-like interruption to imitate Trump's speech patterns. This wasn't just a written joke being told, this was a full performance piece by one of entertainment's greatest talents. The thing about Barbra, explained one social media commenter after the clip went viral, is that she doesn't just read her lines, she performs them. And perform she did. Her background in musical performance clearly contributed to her ability to deliver this insult with such dramatic flair, making it not only sharp but genuinely entertaining. What's most impressive is how Streisand managed to create something truly original in the overcrowded space of Trump insults. While other celebrities have gone after his appearance, business failures, or legal troubles, Barbra targeted something more fundamental: the basic inability to communicate coherently. By comparing Trump to malfunctioning technology, she found a metaphor that resonates with everyone's daily frustrations. Social media practically exploded after the clip aired. Barbra Streisand comparing Trump to a Wi-Fi dead zone is the technological burn I didn't know I needed, wrote one Twitter user. Another commented, "Leave it to a legend like Barbra to find the perfect metaphor for Trump's brain function." The reactions weren't just positive, they were downright celebratory, with users creating memes showing Trump's face superimposed over the no connection symbol we all dread on our phones. What makes the comparison especially devastating is its accuracy. Trump's speeches often lack logical flow, with sentences that start in one place and end somewhere completely different, or thoughts that disappear mid-delivery. Just like when you're trying to stream a movie and the picture keeps freezing, Trump's communication leaves listeners waiting for a coherent point that never fully materializes. The interviewer, still struggling not to laugh, managed to ask Streisand if she thought Trump's communication style was deliberate or just his natural state. Barbra didn't miss a beat. When your Wi-Fi is broken, does it matter if it's the router's fault or the service provider's? Either way, you're not getting what you paid for.